Hello. Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Okay, can you tell me your name and can you introduce yourself a little bit? Then I'll introduce myself.
Second place.
Avara, you speak. That is just for your.
Hello.
She has to speak.
Okay, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Can you introduce yourself a little bit? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So my name is Kiara, and I am in 5th grade. I study in the school Pathway School, Gurgaon.
Okay. All right. Okay, Kiara. So I'm Aishwarya, all right, and I will be your mentor. So I'm also from Delhi, and I'm going to be taking a small little topic for you. Any topics that you would like me to take, or is it okay if I take whatever I want? Just
No, it's fine.
any topic is okay. All right. Okay. Kiara, can you tell me which is like your favorite subject?
I
Doesn't
like
have to be
science and math both.
both. Okay, that's good then. All right. Okay, Kiara. So what we'll do is we'll have a small little demo on. Let me see. What all has been done in school so far for you?
No, so this is just my starting. So I've never attempted science Olympiad so far, and in my school, we don't do like proper science. So we do unit of inquiry. Like we take one whole topic for a month. Like I am an IB, so we do unit of inquiry and all.
All right. Okay, got it. So there are no like particular topics just for science, you mean? All right. Okay, no worries. So what we'll do is, so there are a couple of chapters. I'll just tell you the chapters that we have for grade 5. So we have, let me know if anything has been done for you in grade 4 or you know about it. So we'll be doing animals, where we'll be talking about all types of animals, how do they obtain food, how do they walk, what is their body structure, all those things in animals. Then we have human body and health, so we'll talk about all the organ systems and everything in the human body. Then we have plants, so same for plants, we'll do different category of plants, how do they make their own food, all those things. Then air and water is basically environment, right? Then we have natural resources. For natural resources, again, we'll be talking about soil, air, water, earth as a resource. Then we have Earth and universe, so we'll be talking about planets, solar systems, stars, constellations. Then we have matter. Okay, matter is based upon solids, liquids, gases. What are the properties of these different types? And then we have workforce and energy. So workforce and energy, slightly physics. So we'll talk about a little bit of numericals and all. So these chapters are very, very important in grade 5 because these will continue in grade 6. Also, if you plan to give grade 6 Olympiad as well, in that case you will have some topics from here also. Okay, so that is why grade 5 is slightly like crucial if you're getting into Olympiad, right? So any class or any mock test or any kind of exercises that I give you, make sure that you do it, right? So any of these topics you want to pick up, or should I pick at random?
No, you can pick at random.
All right, great. So we will talk about animals. Is that okay? Just give me one moment. Let me just share my whiteboard. Just 1 second, Kara. Okay, can you see the whiteboard?
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about animals. What do you know about animals? Different kinds of animals.
So I know like herbivores, carnivores, and and then I know types of animals like so
Okay.
like those names of animals.
All right. Okay, correct. So like you said, herbivorous, carnivorous. Let me quickly go through that. So animals can be divided into different kinds based upon different things. First, let me know if you can read my handwriting properly. If not, I'll type it down for you, all right? So if you look at animals, animals like you said are carnivorous, herbivorous. So animals can be divided based upon their eating habits. Okay? So first we have types of animals based on food habits. Okay, so like you said, we have herbivores or herbivorous animals, right? We have carnivorous animals or carnivores. We have omnivorous. Okay, then we have scavengers. Okay, and apart from that, we also have detritivorous animals. Okay, so do you know what are all of these? Can you give me examples of each? If you have.
So herbivores are like the animals who eat plants. So you can
Correct.
say giraffes.
Okay, very good. What about carnivorous?
Carnivores are they're either the ones who eat only meat or or they eat everything apart from herbs. I am not clear
Yeah,
on
so
that.
carnivorous would be anything, basically any organism that eats other herbivores or smaller carnivores, right? So basically, carnivores would be organisms that eat meat. That is correct. Any examples that you could give me?
You can take lion.
Correct, nine. Okay, let's go to omnivore. Any example of omnivore? Do you know what is an omnivore?
No.
Okay, so herbivores are organisms that only eat plants, right? Carnivores are organisms that eat meat. So they're either eating other herbivores or they're eating smaller carnivores. Okay, so for example, let's say fox. Fox is a carnivore. Fox maybe eats a rabbit or a deer. And the fox, being a smaller carnivore, the lion can eat a fox as well. Okay, or lion can eat a deer or a goat or a rabbit directly. Omnivorous are organisms that eat meat and plant both. Okay, for example, humans, bears, dogs, omnivores. Okay, then do you know what are scavengers? Okay, scavengers are organisms which will eat dead body of other organisms. Okay, so example, vulture, okay, or a hyena, all right, or a crow. These are all scavengers. Coming to detritivorous, do you know what is a detritivorous organism?
No, I have never even heard of it.
Okay. Detritivorous are organisms that feed on, again, dead organic matter. That means they can eat dead plants, they will digest dead plants or dead bodies. The major difference between scavengers and detritivorous is, example I'll give you first. Detritivores, we have fungi. Okay. So fungus and all, what they do is they grow on dead logs, okay, or they will grow on the debris that have fallen down, right, or dead leaves, trees and all. So what they do is they will take up the nutrition from the dead organic matter or the dead bodies of plants and animals, and in return they will give back mineral to the soil or to the environment. So that is a major difference between detritivores and scavengers. Scavengers are also eating dead bodies, but they are eating dead bodies of animals only, one. Okay. Secondly, they are not giving back anything. There's a dead body, they eat it and they'll fulfill their nutrition requirement. But detritivores of fungus, they give back also to the environment. They will recycle all the dead organic matter. So anything that is dead will eventually be rotted, or which will eventually be used up by the fungus, right, or bacteria, and eventually that will be, so fungus and bacteria are taking their nutrition from this dead matter as well as giving back to the environment also. So it goes into the soil, goes into the atmosphere. Got it? So these are your different types of animals based on their food habits. Any doubts so far?
No.
Okay. I hope you can read my handwriting. All right, great. All right. Now let's look at organisms based upon their body structure. So second is, there are different types of animals, second, based on body structure. Okay, so majorly we have two categories. One, we have invertebrates and we have vertebrates. Any idea what are invertebrates, vertebrates?
No, but I have heard of that.
Okay, so invertebrates are organisms that do not have a backbone. And vertebrates are organisms that have a backbone. Of course, we will talk about everything in detail. Here I'm just giving you an overview of what all we're going to talk about, okay, so that it's easier for you to understand what all topics are there. But otherwise, when we come to regular classes, I will be talking about everything in detail, don't worry, right? And that time you can take down notes or whatever. I'll tell you to note down things. Okay. All right. So invertebrates do not have a backbone. For example, all your insects don't have a backbone. Okay. So whether it's cockroaches, butterflies, ants, termites, wasps, honeybees, they don't have a backbone. Okay. Though they don't even have bones. Vertebrates on the other. Yes.
Any other animals except any other animals without a backbone except insects?
Yeah, we have worms, all kinds of worms. Okay. Then we have snails, octopus. Okay. These are all animals without backbone. There's a big category, but that you'll study in higher classes. Right. Coming to vertebrates, vertebrates are slightly advanced evolutionary wise. That means invertebrates, we consider them primitive. There are two terms that we use for animals or living organisms. One is primitive. That means evolution wise, they are not advanced that much. They are not very highly specialized species or highly specialized organisms. Okay, they're very basic. They don't have organ systems, digestive system, circulatory system like our body does. Humans are the most advanced species, right? That means we are most evolved. So these are most primitive invertebrates. Vertebrates are slightly advanced evolutionary wise. That means they've changed their body type. They've advanced according to the changing times and all. And this is what we have now. So we have 5 types of vertebrates, starting from fish, okay, also known as, so fish we have which are known as Pisces. Okay, the category is known as Pisces. So fish are vertebrates. Then second, amphibians, frogs and all. They also have a backbone. Third, reptiles. So snakes, lizards, crocodiles, they do have backbones. Though snake does look like that it doesn't have a backbone, but it does. Okay, it has a nice skeletal system. Then fourth, we have birds. also known as aves. Okay, and the last is mammals, all kind of mammals. So cow, dog, bats, these are humans, all are vertebrates. So this is also the evolutionary wise. The most primitive is fish, that means less advanced, then amphibians, then reptiles, birds, and mammals are most advanced, and in mammals, humans are the most advanced species. Okay, so what we'll do is when we talk about these animals in detail, we will be talking about one by one. How do invertebrates move? Like how do they locomote? How are they going from one place to another? How are they eating? How are they reproducing? Like that. And then we'll come to vertebrates. How do fish breathe? How do amphibians breathe? How do they do reproduction? How are they doing digestion process? Each and everything we'll do one by one. Okay. Now, till here any doubt? Okay. Now, when we look at vertebrates, we've said vertebrates do have a backbone, right? So each and every vertebrate has, that means they have a skeletal system inside, which is made up of bones, right? So in invertebrates, there is no internal skeletal system. That means no bones, no cartilage, nothing. All right. So how are they protecting themselves? Because their body needs shape, right? It's not, if you don't have bones, then how will the skin on the body and all, or how will the body remain in a certain shape and size? So most of the invertebrates, they have an external skeleton. Okay, also known as exoskeleton. Exo means outside. Okay, and internal skeleton is called endoskeleton. Endo means inside. So I'll give you a couple of examples. For example, let's look at the snails. Snails have a shell around their body. Okay, so they have shells. Insects. Have you seen a cockroach? A cockroach has these plates on top of their body. Like even if you kill the cockroach or squish the cockroach, it won't die that easily unless you squish it properly, right? No, don't go killing a cockroach now, but still, okay? So when you squish it, it doesn't die that easily because it has plates on the top, okay? These plates are the exoskeleton, okay? So these plates will protect. Worms have scales, slight round rings all over their body. So their body is mainly made up of muscles, so they can move easily, wiggle around easily. Okay. Now, if you see worms, how do they move? They move like this, right? How do snakes move? Like this, zigzag. Okay. That is why. Why? Because snakes have bones in their body, so they can't do this. They can't do this movement because the bone will not contract that much. So that's why they go like this. All right. Whereas worms, they don't have bones, they only have muscles. So they pull the muscle, go forward, pull the muscle, go forward like this. So they'll wiggle, whereas snakes slither. All right. So we'll also talk about that in detail. How do they locomote? How are they different from vertebrates, invertebrates? So this is just an example. Now, octopus also is in the snail family only, but octopus are organisms which do not have a shell. But again, they also do muscular movements. So what do? They come up like this, right? So they also move like with muscles, like jellyfish and all, they move through muscles. So they're all invertebrates. No bones inside the body, mostly outside. Okay, let's look at vertebrates. Vertebrates do have an endoskeleton. So they have an endoskeleton made up of bones and cartilage both, right? We have bones also, we have cartilage also, and we have joints also, right? So for example, if you look at fish have very tiny bones, but they do have bones, right? So every vertebrate has bones and cartilage. Apart from that, each and every vertebrate also has different kinds of exoskeleton on their body. For example, fish has scales all over their body. Amphibians again have moist skin or scales. Like if you look at frogs and all, they have moist skin on their body, right? If you look at toads, they have warts on their body. So that is exoskeleton. Reptiles again have scales, but they are dry scales. They are not like fish. Okay, for protection. Birds have feathers on their body, so that's an exoskeleton. And mammals have fur or hair. Okay, even humans have body hair all over the body, right? So now, since humans have evolved and we've started wearing clothes for protection, the body hair on the main body where you wear clothes is not too much. But let's say if arms are exposed, legs are exposed, they have hair, right? So that will help to protect our body. So these are all exoskeletons. So exoskeleton will help in protection. Mammals also have, like for example, nails for protection. Birds also have claws. Reptiles also have nails. Amphibians and fish will have fins and scales. Okay. So depending upon what kind of organism it is, we'll discuss that also in detail when we come to the regular classes. What is going to differ between invertebrates and vertebrates will also help you in understanding how do they live, like what is their body organization. That means, for example, insects don't have an organ system. They don't have a heart, lungs, and all. They don't breathe like that, right? Or coming to fish breathe through gills, whereas humans breathe through lungs. So, since fish is living underwater, it requires gills. Mammals are outside water, so we require lungs. So, depending upon what is their body organization, what is their habitat, and how do they, like, what are the organs and how do they live, that will also make a difference. All right. So, for example, amphibians. We know amphibians, example, let's say take a frog. The tadpoles have gills, but once it becomes an adult and it comes out of water, frogs have lungs, right? So depending upon their like their body structure, you can make out their habitat, or vice versa. From their habitat, you can also make out their body structure and all. So we will be talking about everything in detail in the regular classes. Any doubts so far here?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. One more thing I want to tell you before I stop. Now, when we talk about animals, I've already told you we have vertebrates and invertebrates. Apart from that, we have certain animals so if we talk about locomotion of animals or movement of animals, the major difference between plants and animals is that animals can move and plants cannot move, right? Plants are stuck. But there are certain animals that do not move. So on the basis of locomotion also we can divide organisms. So primitive animals, the most basic ones, they are stationary. They don't move, but they are animals because they don't make their own food. Okay. And they will take food from maybe another animal or from a plant. That depends. Then we have advanced animals, obviously, that can locomote or move around. Okay. Example, stationary animals. Example, we have sponges. They are underwater. You've seen SpongeBob SquarePants. Though he's moving around, but sponges don't move. They are stationary. Okay. Then Hydra. Hydra is like, have you seen the movie Finding Nemo? No. Okay. Anyway, so you know how a jellyfish looks like? So jellyfish is like this, right? It has tentacles, correct? Similarly, Hydra is another variant of jellyfish, relative of jellyfish, okay, which has an opening like this. It is stationary, it is stuck onto the ground or onto a part of the inside the oceans, and it has tentacles on top. Okay. So what it does is these tentacles sting, right? They have stinging cells. So the moment, let's say, a fish is going from here or whatever, the fish will get stung. It will become paralyzed and it will fall inside. The moment the fish falls inside, the Hydra will digest it. Same, jellyfish also eats food like this only. It will sting the prey and it will engulf it. Okay. So Hydra is similar, but jellyfish is moving and Hydra is stationary. Locomotive, we all know there are so many. All mammals, fish, humans, they are all locomotive. We move around. Okay, insects, birds, etc. So locomotive, all advanced animals will move around, right? So mainly what you have to do is, apart from knowing the different categories and the different types, we also need to know the examples. Okay? Because most of the questions that you've never given Olympiad before, right? This is your first time?
So this is my first time giving science, but
Okay.
I in maths and English.
All right, then it's fine. Then there'll be a slight little, like, more than what you've been taught in school, of course, right? And a little bit of, like, when we practice the questions in the end, like the question papers, you'll come to know a pattern as to how it.
In school, like we don't really learn these. So we have learned human body, and right now, but in grade 5, like all our topics, they aren't like particularly animals. So like we learn civilizations, and then we go deeper into the details.
Okay. So no worries. Whatever we'll do here, you can take down notes. You'll get content. I'm sure that admin must have spoken to you about that. So don't worry about that. You'll get everything. Only thing is, since it's not being taught in school, you'll have to put a little bit of extra effort here. In the sense, you'll have to pay attention here, because there'll be too much information for you in school also than here also, right? Which is not related to each other. So make sure that whenever you come for class, or whenever we have mock tests or anything, you attend them on time. Okay, and since we are one-on-one, obviously it makes it much easier, right? That you can ask your doubts. And make sure you ask your doubts. Even if you feel it's very silly or small, don't worry. I'm here for you only, all right? So we'll do this in the regular classes. Any questions for me, Kiara? Anything you want to ask?
No.
No? All right. Okay. So I think that's it for the demo, all right? You can get back to the admin and we can decide the days and the timings.
Yeah, but I had a question. So in this class, do we like have quizzes or anything? Like, do you make us do?
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, what I'll do is, for example, let's say I finished one class today. When I meet you the next time, first 15 minutes, I'll take a small little quiz for you of whatever we've done earlier. All right, then I'll do the next topic. Once I've finished the entire chapter, let's say animals is done, then I'll give you a mock test. Okay, you do the mock test at home. All right, it'll be about 25 questions, so you should be done in 15-20 minutes, not more than that. All right, once you're done that, you submit the Google form, that answers come to me. In the next class to that, we will discuss the solution. Okay, apart from that, of course, worksheets and all are all available. You must be knowing all are available on the website. Okay, that you can practice on your own. But let's say if you have any issues with exercises or anything, you can always discuss. That's not an issue. But each and every class, I'll tell you that tomorrow I'm going to take, like next class, I'm going to take a quiz on this and this topic. I'll tell you. So before you come for the next class, prepare for that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, then I will see you for regular classes. Bye, Kiara. Have a good day.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.